Do Us Part. I'm going to turn it over to Tabitha for those.
I get the fun stuff. We love the audience favorite because this is who we truly want to entertain, is our audience. And so to be honored with this award just truly means that you did what the audience wanted you to do. So good job. The audience favorite for Fruitcakes is Mark Esch.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you, thank you. I'm shy. Thank you. Or thank them. I'm tripping over stuff and everything. That's awesome. Yes, 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 yes. I'm actually speechless. Believe it or not.
My favorite for Till Beth Do Us Part is Lewis Suttles.
Isn't that terrible?
I can hug her. She's my wife. Tabitha was right. We do this for the audience. I've made the joke, hey, you know, we ain't getting paid for this. This is something that I love doing. I've loved doing it since I was in high school. And again, thank you and thank the audience.
Thank you, Lewis. All right, next is the Hubie Award, the Tom and Linda Huber Memorial Award, sponsored by Chris and Elaine Green. And Tabitha, you want that one too?
I will. As many of you know, this is an award for the folks who help backstage, whether kind of like booth or help build sets and things like that. It's a way to honor our stage crews and stage hands. We have presented these awards to Rhonda Lopez and Gary Fisher.
The Shining Spirit Award is next. This is the Jim Schildmeyer Memorial Award, sponsored by the Schildmeyer family. And I believe Ann is going to make that presentation, I think.
Actually, I'm Julia. Ann's my sister, and she couldn't make it here tonight. And my brother Mike, my twin, actually lives in Hawaii now, so it's kind of hard for him to make it too. As I was sitting out there, I just thought of a quick story I wanted to tell you that I thought was fun about Dad. About 45 years or so ago, I came home from grade school and said, Mrs. Stout from Riverview, she was our music teacher, told us about this play we could audition for this thing called Civic Theater, and it was Pippi Longstockings. So my mom took me to the audition, and I got called back. So Dad took me to the callbacks. Guess who got cast in the play? Dad. Oh, and my twin brother who went along. I got the understudy for Pippi. But I brought my husband Rob up here because my parents loved Rob as a son, and he worked in many shows with Dad, and in fact worked here at Civic. So he's going to explain the award to you, and then we'll present it.
Let me make sure I get this right. Yes, my name is Rob Highway. I want to make sure I get the title of the award right here. This award is to recognize the one individual who sums up the devotion and the spirit of the cast and crew to always produce a great show. The director of each regularly scheduled season show nominates one member, cast or crew, for the award, and then the single annual award is determined by the board of directors. I was fortunate enough to know Jim for 20 years before he passed away, and he and I did a lot of live theater together. And I know he loved live theater. I know he loved Marion Civic. I know he loved people at Marion Civic and to do live theater. And in fact, I can remember walking through this building with Jim when it was just two old commercial structures before Marion Civic had taken it over, and it's so fun to see it, you know, still going strong and still looking great. So I know he would appreciate that. And I also know that this award is very appropriate for Jim to be named for him, because I know after working with him for so long, all he ever expected of anyone was he just wanted them to work hard, to, you know, work their tail off, to always have a positive attitude, and to just keep doing that day after day after day after day. So he was always looking for that shining star. And I also know that Jim always liked to have a good laugh, so if you also had the ability to make him laugh, that really made you somebody special. So anyway, this year's Shining Spirit Award
is presented to J.J. Leaks.
The best performance by an actress in a leading role is next, and the musical award sponsor is Priscilla Box, and the nominee is Marsha Vermillion from Rogers and Hart Celebration. I guess you better start making your way up here, Marsha.
Well, first of all, the show, like a musical review, such as Rogers and Hart, there really were no leads or major supporting or minor supporting or whatever. So, but I know the way things have to be divvied up for the voting and the nominating and whatnot. But truly, there were people that I was able to get to know during the process of this show that I just really enjoyed getting to know. People I didn't know at all. People I knew slightly, but I felt like I had a better understanding of them as the show went on, and just really treasured that deepening of those acquaintances into friendships. And you know, there were also people that I'd been in shows with before. It was just a joy to be able to be with them again. So really, I'm very appreciative of the award, but I also just want to say that an ensemble show, an ensemble cast, it's really, it probably belongs on all of their shelves, not on mine, definitely, because it's just a great group of people to work with. Thank you.
In the category of Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role, the musical award sponsor is the Height family, and we have one nominee, and it's Jeremy Height for Rogers and Hart Celebration. Jeremy.
Well, I will echo what Marsha said and other cast members from Rogers and Hart, that it was a wonderful group of people to work with. I wasn't planning on being in the show last summer, and when some friends were in it and saying, you should come and audition, my wife and I did, which is the first time my wife was in a show at Civic with me. I've only been in a few, and that made it all that much more special to enjoy that experience with her. But singing with Marsha and many others, both the Kevins back there, and as well as Nancy and others, I mean, it was just overwhelming at times to just listen to them sing, and just from their heart. And it isn't familiar music, a lot of that music that we worked on. And so it was a fun challenge to sing, to learn the songs. We spent a lot of time on just the melody and the notes, because it's not, you know, Music Man or something like that. A lot of us know those. We've grown up watching those movies. I guarantee you didn't grow up watching Rogers and Hart Celebration. So it was challenging music, but very rewarding in the end to look back and to see what we had accomplished together with John's leadership and Peg at the piano. It was just a wonderful experience. So thank you to everyone. Thanks to Marion Civic Theater, to the board of directors, to the people who sponsor, all the businesses in Marion. We're blessed to have this organization in our community, and has a long heritage of great shows and wonderful people, like the ones that the awards are being presented in memory of, and so it's just an honor to be a part of this organization. Thanks.
The next category is Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role. Your sponsor is Charmaine Sailors and FC Tucker Realty. The nominees are Kara Carter, playing Clara in Spirit, Melanie Lynn for her role as Miss Alice in Fruitcakes, Tabitha Nice for the Till Death Do Us Part. You present your own thing to you if you win? No, you don't do that. Lindsay Holt for No One in If by Yes, and Lori Lloyd for playing, is it Cherie Hollander in the Dixie Swing Club? Sorry about that. All right. And the winner is Kara Carter. Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role. The sponsor of this award is the Daniels family. And your nominees are Andrew Daniels for his role as Mr. Monroe in Spirit, Mark Esch as Mac Morgan in Fruitcakes, Louis Suttles as Gibby until Beth do us part, and Logan Atkins for playing anyone in If by Yes. And your winner again is Mark Esch. Mark, come on up. We have to speak this time.
Wow.
I am shy, but doing this on the stage like Louis said, it's for the audience and it helps bring people out of their shows. And when Brian cast me in this show, it was during a start of a very rough time in my personal life, and it actually helped me go through it. Everybody in the cast was great to work with, and I can't thank you enough, and I can't thank Brian enough, and I can't thank you all enough. This was awesome. Thank you.
All right, let's get Tabitha back up here for audience favorite awards from If by Yes and the Dixie Swim Club.
Okay, the audience favorite for If by Yes was Logan Atkins.
I didn't know that I'd have to speak, so. But I'd just like to thank my cast. I really, truly thank you. Civic has a way of always making every new cast that I'm in. I was only in 2 shows, and every single one of them became like a family to me, and I thank them for that. I'd like to thank God. I really feel like He put me on this path for acting, and I'd like to thank Marion Civic, and just everybody who is here and doing things for that. Thank you guys.
Sorry, we had the Dixie Swim Club to go, and we actually, for the first time ever, had a tie for audience favorite on that show. And both of those, the tie was between Marsha Vermillion and Ruth Cochran.
This is really a very important thing for me to put on my shelf. I wasn't going to audition for the show, I'll tell you that right off the bat. I came because my good friend Peggy really wanted to audition, but didn't really want to audition unless I came for moral support, which is strange because they've done lots of shows before. It had been several, I mean, yes, I did do the show last summer, the musical review, but I really had taken a break from performing. First thing I did for Civic Theater was 28 years ago when I first moved here. And gosh, it was a whole lot easier to memorize lines than, I'll tell you that right now. And so I came to the auditions for Dixie Swim Club, and I looked at the script and I thought, gosh, it's got a lot of words. Yeah, and I'm kind of one of those people that, you know, put up or shut up. And I demand a lot of my students that I direct, and this past school year, I had a student who was not getting lines memorized when I had asked him to, and I was very frustrated. And I looked at that script, and I tried to start memorizing, and it was really hard. And I thought, gosh, you know, this is the last thing I'm ever going to do on stage because I don't want to be a hypocrite and yell at these kids for not memorizing lines. But what a nice group of people in the show. And what a fun role to play. It probably says something about, well, I don't know, it probably says something that Tabitha perhaps sees the world in a different way since I was cast as the sexy divorcee. But anyway, this is just really This is just really an honor. I enjoyed doing the show, and it was stressful because of my own inadequacies, and so I definitely would not have been able to do it without the support of the other people in the cast who knew that I was struggling with memorizing lines, and they were just so gracious. So you may never see me again, but unless it's like walk in as the maid and go, "Here you are, sir," you know, that's how I like to handle it. Thank you.
Okay, it's time for the Jason Bushman Breath of Theater Award, sponsored by Julie Grayson and Marion High School's class of '93, and I believe Julie's going to make that presentation right now.
I'll be okay. I'm Julie Grayson, Jason. And this is Michael Griffin, Jason's friend that was in the Marion City Theater plays with him. He's up here to help me. I'm thankful, and I have to read this, I've never spoken on stage before. I'm thankful for Marion City Theater for honoring my son Jason with this memorial award in his name. Jason lived and breathed theater. He appeared in numerous Marion High School plays and Marion City Theater plays. He was also in 26th Street Singers, Marion High School Speech and Drama Association, and 6-year member of 4-H choir. He won many awards, but tonight I wanted to focus on one of the most fun ones. Marion High School production of The Sting in April '91. His role was Mrs. Vanderkilt, known as a woman with memories. A description of this character was, Mrs. Vanderkilt, a handsome woman in her 70s. Her hair is elaborately styled, and she's much too heavily made up. Her dress far too grand for the occasion, and she wears too much jewelry. It was her duty to tell the story of the greatest con ever pulled in Chicago, maybe the world, so it wouldn't get lost to history. I attended the awards with Jason in '91, and they stated that they were so impressed with his performance that for the first time ever they had to make a whole new title for his award. They didn't quite know what category he would fall in. So they made Outstanding Character Actor just for him, which is printed on his trophy. I brought his trophy and a few pictures are on our table if you'd like to look. Later that same year, Jason was in Marion City Theater's production of Cinderella in August '91. And he played the handsome role of Prince Charming. Such a broad range of acting skill, from an elder woman to a handsome prince. He researched his roles and helped to make and put his costumes together. His most important attributes were going above and beyond, uplifting and encouraging others. A very dear friend of his, Alice Wilson, couldn't be here tonight. She lives in Wisconsin. Said she wouldn't be doing her acting today if it had not been for Jason. He had helped her to gain confidence to do theater, and she wished he could see how happy she is. His other friend, Tanya Miller, couldn't be here since she's in Hawaii right now, and she wrote how Jason inspired her and pushed her to live life. He showed her so much support and helped her to know her worth, and that's invaluable. She could never thank him enough for doing what he's done for her that will span her life. So I just wanted to say, he always complimented everyone. You're so pretty, so beautiful, and we should all strive to be like Jason and uplift each other every day. Thank you. Breath of Theater Award is presented to Andrew Daniels.
All right. Yeah.
First and foremost, thank you. Thank you so much. I was going to apologize for maybe getting emotional, but I'm on stage. Where else should I be emotional? wow, just if I thought I would have been up here doing what I do 8 years ago when I first walked in these doors to be an Oompa Loompa in Willy Wonka, I probably would not have believed this. This means so much to me, and I've said it a million times, and I'm sure people are getting sick of it, but theater is my life and my passion. This is what I love to do. It makes my soul happy, and that wouldn't be possible without the community we have here. You guys are the ones that give me that passion, that give me that strength to pursue my dreams, and I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being excellent castmates, for being excellent people to be around, and making a wonderful community to do theater in. You guys are wonderful, and thank you. I love you all.
Next is the President's Award, the Clarence M. Slusser Memorial Award. J.J. Leak is your sponsor. Thank you to her for that. And Tabitha has the presentation.
Unfortunately, JJ couldn't be here this evening, but she wanted me to say a few words about Brian, who unfortunately couldn't be here either. She wanted me to pass along that she appreciates him for always supporting her and all of the board and working really hard to make this season a success. He will be greatly missed. And then I also wanted to add, we do wish him and his family all their best in his new job and their future endeavors.
I'd like to call Wesley up here to go ahead and make the presentation of the Off-Season Peer Favorite Award. Wesley?
Wesley on stage?
Yeah, I know I'm never usually on stage. People I think associate me with the concession stand. You've never seen me on stage, because that's where you always see me. Yeah, this is one of our second year for giving the Off-Season Peer Favorite Award. Off-season shows, we've done murder mysteries the last couple of years, and so the Peer Favorite Award is an opportunity for the cast members to talk amongst themselves and submit secret ballots for who they think was the actor that they thought was very outstanding. Just as a side note, I'm loving all of the stories this evening. It's so amazing. When you're not on stage, you get to see all of the interactions with amongst the cast members and directors and everything, and it's so fun to see all of that played out. Our winner for the Peer Favorite Award for the murder mystery this year, Murder, She Rhymed, was Gary Fisher.
Our next category is Best Set Design, and appropriately, Bowman Construction is your award sponsor, and your nominees are Rogers and Hart, A Celebration, Fruitcakes, If By Yes, Spirit, Till Death Do Us Part, and the Dixie Swim Club. And the winner is Fruitcakes.
All right.
My dad asked me to accept this on his behalf in case he won tonight, and asked me to pass on some of his words as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here since now he's in Michigan running a bed and breakfast. Very busy there, but just wanted to let everyone know that he misses you all and is very excited about this. He wanted to thank Gary Fisher for constructing the barn, and also thank Tabitha and Priscilla and JJ, and Amy, Laureate, and Christy for helping as well. And then Loretta and Roger Tappan for a lot of their creative touches. And then Jeremy Adams, and of course the cast, who wouldn't have been able to put all of that together because the cast really came together and built the set. So thank you so much.
I wish Brian was here too. He's one of the people I know well enough to make fun of. Yes. So I miss him. Yeah, afterward. Best musical of the season. The sponsor of this is Wesley Williams. And your nominee, Rogers and Hart, A Celebration. And your winner too, Rogers and Hart, A Celebration.
Sean is in here, so
1985, the musical Annie. The show had been cast. Rehearsals were set to begin. I was at a friend's house. One of the directors from the musical, Nancy Goebel, came to their house and said to Bob, "Do you sing?" And Bob said, "No, I don't sing, but John does." So she kept talking to Bob. She didn't know who I was. Finally, he said, "Just listen to John." So I went to the piano, sang a song. She goes, "Oh, you're really good." So she had to call the co-director, and I auditioned over the phone. Got the part, and that's how Civic Theater began for me in 1985. I will say that Rodgers and Hart was the first musical I directed for Marion Civic Theater in 1987, I believe. Honored enough to do the show again, I might say that I was a much more capable director in 2015 than I was in 1987, the first musical I ever directed. Of course, I have to thank Penn Wright, who always plays for whatever show I direct or I'm in. Chris and Elaine Green for helping me get that set put together, and all of my wonderful cast members for enduring me during those rehearsals. You all gave a marvelous performance, and I'm so very proud that the last show I directed at Marion Civic Theater was with the people of this cast. So thank you all.
Thanks, John. And now the best play of the season. This is sponsored by College Inn Bed and Breakfast. We have 5 nominees: Spirit, Fruitcakes, Till Death Do Us Part, If By Yes, and the Dixie Swim Club. And we need the drum roll. Fruitcakes.
All right.
If my dad were up here, he would be sobbing right now. So I'm really sorry you all had to miss out on that. Just pretend that I'm Brian. I sound just like him, so it won't be that difficult. I couldn't have pulled this off without JJ and Priscilla and Gary. My first-time actors were all amazing. I really wish I could be there, and the casting crew really came together and just made everything what it was. Mark, you were absolutely perfect, and the perfect lead role, and did a great job bringing the cast together and leading the whole cast. Just want to thank everyone so much. I know this means a lot. Thank you.
It's time for Tabitha now to take over and tell you about the upcoming year and a few other things. Take it away.
Thank you. Let's give Tim a big round of applause. We are both right. On Jim's behalf this time, and we may be calling you in the future. All right, to announce our 2016-2017 season.